I am Neha Dhupia, a very staunch supporter of the Share the Load movement and also the moderator of today's panel. Well, I have to tell you that I've closely followed the journey of Share the Load and have been a part of this movement at various different stages over the years. And honestly, I'm extremely happy to be back to what I call an eye-opening event. Today we're here to discuss a topic that affects a lot of our lives, in fact all our lives minutely. We're here to discuss about the equality within households and especially in the distribution of domestic chores, a cause that Ariel has been at the forefront of advocating for the last 7 years, yes. And I'm just so glad that I've been a part of this conversation over the years, and I'm just happy to see how the conversation has trickled into so many homes and making such a difference in such a big way. Well, over the years, the brand has effectively raised a mirror to the society with its Share the Load campaign, seeking a better world where there's equality within the household and hence happier households. Yes, you need to have, the only way to have happy households is if you have every member of the house extremely happy. Where men and women have equal responsibilities and equal ownership of chores. With Share the Load, we have made laundry the face of a change we're trying to drive, and that change happens to be equality. Yes, who thought that laundry would be the face for equality? But as a brand, Ariel has managed to do that. We've seen that happen over the years, and we're going to have many conversations around it even today. Yes, with some very special people. When launching in 2015, Ariel raised an extremely relevant question, which is laundry only a woman's job? Now, the question was raised to an audience, the question was raised to the public, the question was raised through advertising to draw attention to the uneven distribution of domestic chores. Now we have an audience here. The question is going to be asked again. Is laundry only a woman's job? Now how many of you, I'm not going to ask you that question, how many of you have actually done your laundry this morning or done the laundry for someone at home this morning? That's great. That's great to actually see that we have such a large number of men in the audience who have said that they've done the laundry. Like whatever it means that, like I said, it's about equal distribution of domestic chores is what we're trying to get at from the uneven distribution of domestic chores. So clearly, the message that we've been trying to drill for so many years is paying off. Well done, sir. And I saw your hand. आपका हाथ बिल्कुल टक करके ऊपर आया. बिना सोचे, बिना समझे, बेझिझक आपका सर. आप अभी ज़्यादा हैरान लग रहे हैं. लॉन्ड्री के वक्त हैरान नहीं लग रहे थे, तो बहुत अच्छी बात है. आप well done. With the 2016 dads, the conversation was aimed at unearthing the reason for the disparity, which is the cycle of prejudice passed down from one generation to the next. In 2019, Ariel India reignited the social conversation with sons, Share the Load and ask a pertinent question. Are we teaching our sons what we've been teaching our daughters? And now, not only in the matter of laundry, but I ask myself that question every day at home, depending on everything. I have a daughter, I have a son. I want to teach them equally and I want to teach them the same things in the same manner. Welcome 2020, which Share the Load for equal sleep. Ariel talking about how chores like laundry are coming in the way of women getting equal sleep and rest as men. Now that's highly questionable, no matter what household you're from. How many of you actually think that you don't get the same amount of sleep as your spouse? We've got women in the audience who are saying they don't get. I don't know why, but I feel your pain. I do. That's a big hint. And today, very importantly, we have gathered here to have a discussion as a part of the 5th edition of Share the Load, See Equal, on a very important topic. which is time to speak up. And to have this discussion, we have some wonderful people, like I told you earlier, who will be joining me here today. So, like they say, every host and their favorite line. What are we waiting for? Let me invite on stage our first panelist and my very dear friend Vidya Balan. Of course, she needs absolutely no introduction. We have seen her shattering stereotypes with her roles and choice of cinema, and I promise you, it's not just her roles and her choice of cinema. She is this person. She shatters stereotypes. She speaks her mind. She really, believes in seeing equal, because I know her as a person, and that's how amazing she is. Well, joining Vidya, we have Shimit Amin, film director and editor. Of course, you know him most famously for Chakwe India, but he's also been the director for many of Ariel's Share the Load films. And both places, I think the messaging from his end has been extremely strong. And last, of course, not the least, please welcome Sharat Verma, Chief Marketing Officer, P&G India, and Vice President, Fabric Care, P&G India, the man behind the Share the Load movement. And like I say, in a very light-hearted manner, I've seen him on TV over this weekend more than anyone else, because he's been putting this very important message across to the entire nation. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Vidya, Shimit, and Sharat. Well, it's extremely wonderful to have all of you here. We're going to pretend like we haven't met, but we all met backstage, and we're chill, we're cool, and they've also been waiting for a while to meet all of you. The topic that we're talking about is so relevant, which is speak up. But before we get started in our conversation, I wanted all of us to watch the latest film of Share the Load. Kind of moves you and then makes you want to give the brand such a huge applause for putting out such a strong message. Vidya, we're going to go with you first. What are your thoughts about the film and the message that they're trying to put out over here?
Firstly, hi everyone. I just want to congratulate Ariel, Sharat, and the entire team. Shimit, I absolutely love the album. Therefore, I'm thrilled to be here today, Neha. Because I just feel that, for me, the most important moment in this film was when she says, I suddenly realized. Because most of us don't even realize it. The conditioning is so deep कि घर का काम तो मुझे करना है ना. बाहर भी आजकल मैं काम करती हूँ, but at home, I'm the one who takes charge of everything. So a lot of times, even our conditioning runs so deep that we don't realize that there could be another way where the man supports us equally at home. Because previously it was only the man who was running the household. So he was working outside, you were working within the house. But now when you're also working outside, so you're splitting, you're both pooling in your resources. I think you need to pool in your resources at home also. And that sudden realization, one is a realization and the other is the fact that she expresses it. Because unless we express it, no one is a villain, right? Women don't know better, men don't know better. It's because we've been brought up a certain way, because we've seen our mothers take charge. Doesn't matter what they do otherwise. Like I did this film Mission Mangal where she's about to send a satellite into space, but she's making breakfast that morning and she's saying electricity ka bill pay kar dena. She's in charge of all of this, and then she goes to send a satellite into space. And that's such a big thing of national importance. But she's doing this, and there's no one supporting her in that. So I think what's beautiful is that in these, visual imagery has a very strong impact on all of us, and stories most importantly. So I've always loved the idea of Share the Load, and because of the way you have woven these stories in ways that are very relatable, I think it's amazing. Suddenly you realize that, oh, it's okay to express, and maybe when you express it, you realize that the other person hasn't thought of it, and will just say, oh, maybe I can make a start now. So I absolutely love the film.
What's most interesting is in of course, you spoke beautifully about your thoughts, and I love the fact that you said that no one's a villain if you don't speak up, because the other person doesn't know, and it's such an important point. So it's so important to speak up and tell the other person, not take it for granted कि अब मुझे ही करना है सब कुछ. जब तक बोलोगे नहीं तो फिर करेगा कैसे?
Yeah, because a lot of times I remember. Sorry, am I going on and on?
No, you're allowed. You're allowed. No.
I remember in the initial years of my marriage, there were things that I thought were my responsibility. Neha, I was shooting films back to back. And there was one particular day when Siddharth came back home and said, we were traveling, so he said, have my jeans come back from the laundry and from the dry cleaners. And I said, oh my God, I forgot, and I started crying. He said, why is it your responsibility? I had asked our house help to do it. I said, but I should have told her. He said, why should you have told her? I've told her, and I don't need you to supplement that. She needed to do her job, or I could have done it. You're working back to back. And when he said that to me, I realized that, but I had taken it upon myself to be this superwoman who's going out and making films and spending 12 hours on a set, plus traveling time, whatever, and coming back exhausted, because you know how all-consuming it is. And yet, I would have our cook call me and say, Didi, aaj kya banana? Would never call Siddharth and say that. And I wanted it like that, because I thought, nahi, but mujhe karna hai na. Because I also seen my mom be in charge throughout. So you feel lesser if you're not carrying forward that tradition. Unknowingly, we put this pressure on ourselves. That day, I remember I cried so much. It was, I think, also out of exhaustion.
I think it was a 5 a.m. call time as well.
Yeah, but when Siddharth told me, he said, why are you taking the onus of things that I used to get these things done even before we got married. And I didn't get married. We didn't get married, so you could take charge of these things. Suddenly the pen dropped, and I realized there was this pressure to be perfect. The perfect wife now, suddenly, along with every other expectation of perfection that we put upon ourselves.